Aloha and welcome back to the channel. So here I sit on a runway here in Groton, KGON, and I'm flying from KGON. Let's see where I'm at here. It looks like I'm on runway 33, and I'm going to be flying VFR low altitude over to Westerly, KWST. I'll bring up my weather here to show you what I'm doing. 3:42 p.m., 10 knots of wind, snow, and let's turn that off there, and 0.7 inches, snow depth 19.69, and temperature I got 20.98. 10 knots of wind though, from I believe it's 271. And I'm trying to kind of simulate a pretty large weather event we had, big storm, that of course no sane person would ever fly in, but this is a simulator and we don't have to be totally sane. Which, you know, is good for me because maybe I'm not. So, without any further ado, now I'm not going to be wearing my headset here because I am flying for the pure heck of it. I'm not online with anybody else flying right now, so I'm not bothering anybody else either, because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do something crazy if I was on with other people, but I'm just gonna see if I can do the IFR, and it goes from KGON to GON to DELCI, DELCI to TRAIT, trait, and into Westerly, and RNAV, runway and we're landing on runway 7, so RNAV 7. So without further ado, here we go. Now again, there is 10 knots of wind, so this is going to be an interesting takeoff in a very low visibility situation. Airspeed's alive, but because of that wind, I was able to get airborne way too quickly. And we're only at a couple hundred feet here. But I don't want to, I want to climb, but I don't want to climb too high or too steep of an angle, shall we say. All right. So. So we're coming around. And I have completely lost visual on the ground. There's the ground again. It is like whiteout conditions here. So I'm pretty much 100% instrument flying right now. Which, by the way, I am not good at. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a real pilot, so by all means, you know, feel free to mock anything I'm doing. Almost oversped the aircraft a little. Really struggling. Not gonna lie. I don't know if it's the wind that's getting me or just lack of visibility, because I'm not really proficient in just IFR. Definitely having a hard time. reminds me on the boat, the old submarine days, chasing the bubble when you're trying to stay on order depth, but you're doing this number. I was never that great. Of course, that was only in my junior days. However, comma. And remember, when you speak your pronunciation, always more important. So we're hanging around about 900 feet. We'll probably be back up to 1,000 feet here in a minute. And here shortly, I'm going to make the left-hand turn. That was my finger accidentally hitting the wrong button. I'm going to make the left-hand turn to head over to westerly. All right. So yeah, definitely challenging, I'm not gonna lie. So let's start our left-hand turn here. Alright, so we overturned. Now we're going to get back on it. Once this wind kind of gets a hold of you, it doesn't want to let go. So it's definitely interesting to fly with no visibility into a bunch of wind. Alright. Alright. So now let's give us a little more airspeed. So I may bring it a little lower just so I can get a good visual reference. Feet. I can kind of make out the horizon. I can kind of make out what's out there. I need to come left a little. And the wind is just pushing me around, I'll tell you what. You may hear me say that a lot. It's just because I am not proficient in fighting the wind. That wind just literally threw my nose over about 30 degrees. It just pushed me to the side. I was on a good heading, and it just pushed me askew. So really fighting for this. So I got some ground reference. So I can see the ground, and I think I got the runway. Yep, there it is, right in front of me. So let's start. And now comes my little bit of cheating here. Because one thing that really annoys me is the whiskey compass in Microsoft Flight Simulator is always in my way. I have my own whiskey compass, I don't want theirs. Alright, so let's start bleeding off some speed here. Get some more flaps. So we're definitely off a little, but I think we're going to be okay. Still have that wind to contend with. Yeah. So right altitude, just wrong everything else. Woo! So that was as bad of a landing as you're ever going to find. Definitely not something to be proud of, but I also never in a million years would fly in those kind of weather conditions. Just horrible weather conditions. You saw me struggling. The wind was throwing me around, and I had no visual references. Yeah, horrible flying by me. Absolutely horrible. But I managed to stay decent enough that in the end, I visually was getting cues, and I was able to pick up the runway. I definitely did a lot of work, but yeah, this is some crazy weather. If you guys want to try it out, KGON to KWST, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 knots of wind from 271, and 0.7 inches of snow with 19 inches of snow on the ground. And I think it was like 3:45-ish p.m. when I was flying. So thanks for sticking with me. And stay safe, and as always, happy flying out there.